Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. dedicated his life to the nonviolent struggle for racial equality in the United States. But for many young people, there's a large generation gap between the present and the civil rights movement. WCBI's Victoria Bailey spends the day learning what can be done to reconnect these young people with their history. Victoria?
Yeah, Joey, I think anyone would be surprised at the lack of knowledge the younger generations have about the history of African Americans in this country. But I found today that there are a few ways to bring the topic back to the forefront.
It was the greatest mass movement in modern American history. Black demonstrations moved across the country seeking equality at every level. But that was more than 50 years ago.
Well, as we know, that generation is sometimes a hit or miss. You know, it's hard to spark their interest and keep their interest.
But for the younger generation, the civil rights movement is just a chapter in the textbook.
What they learn in the textbooks. They don't learn the valuable outside information from like grandparents, parents who actually were involved in the civil rights movement. They don't pick up books which have so much information about the civil rights movement.
Heather Fair is the young adult librarian at the Starkville Public Library. She says she encourages reading because there's so much to learn.
You get that raw history. I mean, some authors are just raw and put the information out there. They don't try to cover it up, whereas in the library you don't have covered up information. I mean, and sometimes, you know, some of it is fact, some of it is opinion, but, you know, you do get the information.
Hidden Figures is a movie set during the civil rights era about 3 African American women overcoming adversity. Jamila Taylor is a parent, and she is using the historic movie as a teaching tool.
Just being able to continue to utilize our youth. My daughter, who's in high school, she's 10th grade, and just some of her friends that they don't typically get to hear about. All of the things that African American women are doing in science or how we've been activists.
The impact of Dr. King is still felt to this day, and Fair says it's only right to keep his memory alive for the younger generations.
I love history, one. Number two, I love African American history, and I want to learn more about it. Dr. King did a lot for our society, so what better way than to set up a display in his honor. Not only do you get one book, but you have a assortment of books basically telling different things about Dr. King and some things that you never knew.
The Starkville Public Library will be showing movies dedicated to African American history the entire month of February. Dr. Martin Luther King's official holiday is Monday.